First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Let's go to the county executive. Anthony Picente is standing by the line right now. County executive, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, apparently I'm a thief.
You're a thief, and
Yeah.
you got caught.
And I got caught. Yeah.
You got caught.
Yeah, they'll know by the person wiping the honey off their hands. It's I've been caught. Okay. Well, listen. Do you have a fear? Obviously, the state of emergency has been lifted in New York. We have defeated the virus. I mean, you can really say that at this point. Do you have a fear of the variant? The fact that we still do have a higher percentage of people that are not vaccinated than compared to the rest of the state. Is there a bit of a fear that we could have a bit of a backlash because of this?
Well, I don't think you can go through this that anyone, especially those of us that have been involved and deeply, can go through this whole pandemic for all these months and not have a fear about something else.
Right,
I think
right.
it's just now. I think it's just now inherent in us, about it, and particularly, the variants. I mean, I do, and it goes back to last year, Bill. When they talked about the fall surge, and we kept saying surge. Let's be careful.
Yeah.
And then it came, but it came, it came like 3 times or 5 times or 10 times more than we thought. That we thought a surge would be, what we were seeing in the summer of last year,
Right.
the 50, 60, 100 cases. Never thought it'd be, triple that. So there's a fear every day about it, and certainly, the variant is in the back of our minds. So I keep saying we got to, we got to have those eyes in the back of our heads as we go through this.
You remember when, and it was 6 months ago, we had over 10,000 active cases in Oneida County.
Yeah, I remember very well.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, of everybody.
Look, the numbers are great, but, I think I heard you talk to Dr. Hall a while ago and talk about, where the cases are popping up, and they're popping up with unvaccinated people. And we still, and I keep stressing that, and that's why we really have to, increase, our vaccinations. There's still thousands of people that, I believe we can get vaccinated if we can convince them of this and look at what we're doing and some other, pieces to go along with it. But, we do need to get more people vaccinated.
Okay. So, interestingly, the project, the 5S project came to a close this week, which is pretty big, a big step, but there's still a lot of construction downtown. There was a time that all we could talk about was COVID, but now it's time to move on from that, and now it's finishing up these projects, and we continue to see progress going on. Nexus will be starting back up. Hearing stories about Cree hiring. But also maybe the possibility that something else could move in there. There's a worldwide shortage of computer chips. Is that going to be our opportunity?
It is our opportunity, and we have been talking to a couple interesting companies. I can tell you that, through my office and with MV Edge and others, and the interest and the change and the pandemic, along with it brought some changes to the industry and really some need in terms of it, significant need. So, and we've been talking, I've been working closely with Ryan McMahon and Onondaga because we've been trying to look at, a corridor, if you will, of, what we've done with UAS, but also what we can do with technology and with chip fab. And the site is built for more than one. It always has been, and it's permanent. The benefit of Cree, whether it's a supply chain or something else that we look at. So, with Schumer's bill that's there, to expand and allow, more technology and money for it. We're in a good spot, and especially when, and it does go back to all of the pieces that I've talked about, over the weeks, the last several weeks, and really over the year. I mean, the billions of dollar investment. Businesses take note of that. So, when they see that, and especially the other day, look, we opened up Air City Lofts, or we cut the ribbon. I mean, it's been open, but a great project, and those are the kind of things that are spurring the other side of growth. I talked to Chuck Green, who runs AIS up there, Assured Information Services and Systems, and he was like, this housing piece is like the huge for his industry and for his recruitment and all of that. So, the more we do those things and make those investments, the more that the eyes are on us for that kind of growth.
Do you have any knowledge of what's going on at the former Oneida County Airport with this FBI's bomb? I guess it'd be a course on bombs that the FBI is presenting to law enforcement.
Yeah, well, Homeland Security is that's the State Homeland Security Training Center, and so they keep a lot of that close to the vest, if you will, on what they're doing. But that center is, and obviously it was, we sold it to the state, and we so our people train up there occasionally as well in some of these programs. But what they've been doing recently, and just reading about it, it's kind of exciting. But I don't know all the details, but I'm sure that there's a lot going on, and that is a great training site, and they've invested millions in that, for that. So,
and then I want to, during your State of the County, you talked about all of this money that's coming, these federal dollars that are coming in to the county and to municipalities. There's a lot of money coming in. Your pitch was that what we need to do is everybody work together. If we can all work together and pool that money, more can be done with it. But at the same time, you have, for instance, where you are with the city of Utica on this parking garage. How are you going? I guess the question would be, how are you doing with getting everybody to work together? Because it seems like it's a tough challenge. It is a tough challenge, and it's tough from the point and 2 points that I tried to make the point, and we've said it repeatedly that the dollars that are coming through. I'm still, we're still in the staff and budget director and Tom Keeler and everybody, Carvelli, have been going through the details on this in terms of the reporting, the overall what you can use it for is very specific, and that's why I said it's really important if we kind of look at, especially the broadband initiative. Now we've been working really closely with Herkimer County. And I'm pleased with that, because looking at ways, we've done the survey with them in terms of broadband work. That'll be completed, soon enough that we can look and see what those gaps are. And then I'm going to go back out into the towns and villages and the cities for that matter to say, look, here's how we can, that's I still think that's a number one concern when it comes to education and economic development that we can do, and that's a prime piece for this funding to use, for infrastructure, that kind of infrastructure. So, I do think also that, some of the local officials on the town and village level, perhaps, and I know the cities are still doing some different things. Yeah. Really have to come up with, this is not, I've said it again and again, and repeatedly, it's not just a wish list of, give me let's go build something. It really does have to have some purpose around, what our gaps are from the pandemic or projects that were stalled because of the pandemic. So there's two pieces to that. So we really got to work, and I'm going to keep pushing, and hopefully we'll get some takers. Yeah, and we need to. And otherwise. The other thing is this money's not hanging around for a long time. Right. There's reporting cycles on it, and if you don't spend it, you don't keep it. And what if you don't spend it correctly, or you don't get it? Yeah, there's audit trails and specific guidelines in it. I got the book in front of me that I took, that we've been going through in terms of when there are certain benchmarks of when the timing of all of this. So it is, it's a heavily audited program. It's not the typical. And every program is audited, and I'm not saying that they just give you money, but there's broad scopes of money, and then there's narrow scopes, and this one is narrower than others. Okay, let's see. I have a couple of questions coming in. When? What is your timeline you feel on Nexus getting back up and getting construction going?
Well, I think we have a meeting scheduled for Tuesday. The yard, I believe, has their, had gone out to the bond market, so we'll find out what that is and how soon we can get up. Obviously, we passed our piece, and it's just a matter of working with the yard and getting, that up running. So, I mean, I'm assuming that, we've always had the July target date that hopefully they can get back up and running. And, there's a couple issues that need to get resolved. Obviously, the lawsuits and some other things, but those can get cleared up. So I have a better indication, after Tuesday, I think, of where we stand time wise.
And then I have someone asking on the dance team, the dance group. Was there a conclusion on that? Was there any implication for them? Was there a fine?
There was. I thought I answered that the last. I know Jeff had asked that a couple times, and we did say that there would be a penalty and enforcement action against them that we took. So there was action taken.
All right, and Monaski, you have anything? Or are we good?
Somebody here via the WIBX 950 app. Just a quick statement. It says Kevin says Cree Marcy will be exclusively for Volkswagen. Is that true?
Well, I know that they've been working. I mean, I don't know if it's exclusively for Volkswagen. I haven't. Last time I talked to Greg Lowe, I know they were talking to numerous German German car manufacturers, and I know that Volkswagen's been one of their prime, targets and pieces. So it could be that that's one. I know Cree's worked with them before, and so it's more than likely they're right in that mix. So that's pretty close.
Yeah, I guess any cars they're doing would be good, but Volkswagen, a name, it's not like they're going to go out of business tomorrow.
That's another thing I talked about in my state of the county in terms of, really the electric car industry is really going to be growing, dramatically, not in the next 10 years, in the next few years.
Right. And for
now, but it's going to be really booming.
I seem to remember thinking back to the big announcement day that the CEO was talking about how not the only mention of Volkswagen was that they were going to be not making a vehicle with a combustible engine by 2025, and that there's a window of opportunity.
Right. Volkswagen was the first to announce that they were going to stop.
Right.
They were going to stop the gas-powered engines in terms of that, and so it fits perfectly into Cree's model of what of where they're heading on these on these modules and everything they're doing. So. Yeah, and like I said, and other car manufacturers, there are so many hybrids out there now. In fact, I talked about that with the county fleet, looking at that, and we're going to start purchasing hybrids and then move to some electric vehicles.
Yeah. County Executive, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much. It looks like a beautiful weekend on the way.
Weekend looks like a good one.
Yep, no doubt about it. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
County Executive Anthony Picente.